Hey, what's up? So we are practicing which commands to use when we're in casual time. When we're chilling out around the house, we're hanging out in the yard with our friends. We want to tackle that with the best approach because we don't want to be throwing out our commands when we're not paying attention. We don't want to be saying sit, stay, come and down if we're not going to be focused on the training, making sure that they do it, making sure we only say it once, saying finish when we're done so that they know it's all over. And honestly, it just those commands don't quite work when we're in our everyday lives dealing with our dogs. They actually are for when we're focusing and we're spending time with our dogs and we want them to do things. So I'm going to run through some of our casual commands for what I actually call this damage control training. You know, because you're really just trying not to send out mixed signals to your dogs, and you're not trying to make them think that the more rigid commands like sit, stay, coming down are loose, and you're not going to be focused and pay attention to make sure that they do it. All right, so check it out. The first command we're going to work on is back. What you want to do is you want to step in your dog's territory and teach them back, 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 back. Good boy. So first off, there's an invisible barrier around my dog and myself, and that goes to everyone in my family. Now, some family members gonna need you to help them accomplish this, but nonetheless, that's the rule. There's an invisible barrier around me, say about, about a foot out from the body, and we're gonna teach our dogs when we're chilling out in casual time. Don't approach me unsolicited, but if I call you over, it's all good. Let's go. All right. All right. Good job. So you're going to need to put your hands up so that they don't think that you're trying to give them a treat. And you're going to back them out of the way, turn around, and then ignore them. This is going to escalate. If they don't listen after you do that a few times, then you're probably going to have to put them on leash and put them on timeout for a little bit. So there are a couple levels to this, right? Obviously, if they're running up to me and I go down there and I put my hands on them in a soft, loving way, they're not going to realize that I'm trying to tell them I don't want to play right now. Let's see that. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. So that's why it's important, if I want them to understand that they need to back up and give me some space, I'm going to put my hands up and step into their territory with some confident energy. Back, 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 back. Good job. Back, back. Why does my dog always go after my legs and my toes, and I can't come outside and get them to listen to me? Well, hey, what's happening there is they're playing with you the same way they play with each other. You know, we brought them into the human world, but they're dogs. And so when dogs, these are two male dogs, and you see they humping. Humping is a sign of dominance amongst the male dogs, but it's not sexual. You know what I mean? So these guys are playing, and when you see them playing with us in the same way, they're just trying to make us their playmate. So what you're going to do when that happens, you want to step out and teach them the command back, relax, and no. So I'm dealing with a little bit of nibbling. My dog's coming up, keeps coming at me, doesn't want to stop. First you got to say, let them know it hurt. And then give them something else and take your hands out of the equation and walk off. Hey, so make sure you say finish after you're done giving commands. You don't want to leave it open-ended. Gotta have an exit strategy. So if you're chilling out in the house, you don't just throw out commands and then walk off. Here's a bad example. Sit. You saw what just happened there? My dog got up whenever he was ready because I didn't have an exit strategy. Alright, so make sure after I'm done, sit and finish. How you doing? So we're practicing our rules of thumb. and we're learning how to do a little practice routine inside the home at the same time that keeps our dogs sharp and it keeps us sharp as handlers. So, rule of thumb number one is an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So I'm going to prepare myself by having a treat handy before I call my dog. Rule of thumb number two, know which commands to repeat and how to say them, with tone. So the command I'm going to be using in this exercise is let's go, and the commands are let's go and sit. So let's go is a moving command. I said it with a high inflection. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And sit. And I can repeat let's go. And sit is a stationary command. So I'm going to say it with a stern tone and I only say it once. And that leads us to rule of thumb number three, which is be willing to go back to basics to help our dog. And so after I've said the command once, and if Messiah doesn't do it right away, or I might even just help him, I'll get down there and I'll put my hand in the collar. Be willing to go back to basics or things I did as a beginner. Alright, so let's check it out. Let's go. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Finish. Alright. So what's super important is when we're practicing with our dog to say finish after the exercise is done. If you don't say finish, you're going to end up leaving it, well, you're going to leave it open-ended. And your dog is going to learn to get up whenever they want. So that's when you say sit, the stay is implied. So I have to say finish afterwards so my dog can know what next to do.